Peace, everyone. How you doing? Welcome to Israel Doctrine Podcast. And the title of today's show is Gene Deal's Show. Gene Deal's at Gene Deal's Show. Israel Doctrine wants you to listen about DJ K. Slay. Because he done came on here and made some statements and stuff that DJ K. Slay is not a snitch. That's because you haven't been listening to the realest person on YouTube, aka me. But I don't even want to have to say nothing. I just want to play what I had recorded because I set this up. See, all you filthy YouTubers set up y'all stuff where y'all can communicate with each other back and forth. And y'all run y'all little conglomerate or whatever y'all want to run. But me, I set up stuff too. So excuse the coughing. We're going to get to the show right now.
It's the Opperman Report. Join digital forensic investigator and PI Ed Opperman for an in-depth discussion of conspiracy theories, strategy of New World Order resistance, high-profile court cases in the news, and interviews with expert guests and authors on these topics and more. It's the Opperman Report. And now, here is investigator Ed Opperman.
Welcome to the Opperman Report. I'm your host, private investigator Ed Opperman, and this show is brought to you by emailrevealer.com. Go to emailrevealer.com if you want to get a copy of my book, How to Become a Successful Private Investigator. You can go there if you want to locate somebody. It's an adoption investigation. You want to locate the loved one who was separated through the adoption process. Asset searches, background reports, email tracing. You need a name and address from someone's email address. And the online infidelity investigation, where we catch people cheating online. We trace them back to online dating websites and personal ads. Got a returning guest, a very, very popular guest. People loved him last time, Khalil Amani. You can find him online. You can just Google Khalil Amani, Khalil, and the last name is Amani, Amani. Or you can go straight to his website, which Khalil Amani Reader, to find his writings. He's an author of about 7 books. I'll have him tell you about that. But also, too, he came on a show last week to talk about his experience with the Yahweh Ben Yahweh cult. And it was just a fascinating story. So many people enjoyed it. Khalil Amani, are you there?
I'm here. How you doing, Ed?
I'm doing good. Thank you so much for coming back.
No problem.
Why don't you remind the audience of who you are? The whole story there. And then we'll get into Africa Bombado from the Black Spades and the Zulu Nation.
Okay, well, again, my name is Khalil Amani. If you heard my last interview, that's my backstory is that I was a part of the Yahweh cult. And through getting out of that, I ended up becoming a witness against the cult and having to go into the witness protection program and having my name and identity changed. And thus I became Khalil Amani. I'm a writer. I've written 7 books, as you said. And I found my way into this whole African Mbata narrative kind of by happenstance. That's where we're at.
Why don't you describe some of your books, though, before we get into Africa Bombada?
Okay, well, after leaving the cult, I actually went back to school, went back to college. I went to the University of Nebraska, and I was a religion major, so I kind of wanted to find out, why I would join a cult, and, why would I believe that a mere mortal man is God in the flesh. So I became a religion major and a Black Studies major, so I delved heavy into religion. And in that process of reading so many books of a religious nature, I decided I need to write a book and get some stuff off my chest. So I did, and I wrote one book, but the volume was so large that they ended up making it into 3 books, and it's called Ghetto Religiosity. There's like a Ghetto Religiosity 1, 2, and 3. Basically, it was my deconstruction of Judeo-Christian thought and all that kind of stuff. And so I wrote those books. And now I also wrote an autobiography detailing my life in the Yahweh cult. It's called Ignorant and Dysfunctional, My Life in the Yahweh Cult and the Witness Protection Program. I wrote that book just to kind of share with my life as far as the cult experience and even more so after leaving the cult, dealing with like the government and the witness protection program, and that whole thing of how the government erases you and brings you back as a new person. So that's kind of a very introspective and enlightening book. So, and I wrote some other books on dealing with like hip hop and music, that kind of thing. I'm kind of really engrossed in the hip hop culture right now. So that's where we're at.
That's interesting because you became a student of religions, and it caused you to lose your faith, right?
Yeah, I kind of, after leaving the Yahweh cult, there was probably 4 or 5 years where I didn't want to talk about God at all. I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely didn't have a faith. And actually, even now, I don't subscribe to any particular religious persuasion. I understand all of them because I've studied all of them. All of them. I've studied them all, and just kind of trying to find the commonalities between them and differences. And I just don't believe at this point in my life that God can be encompassed in any one religion. Like you can say, okay, this is the truth. I think that this thing that we call God is bigger than any and all of our religions put together. So you can't really put him in a box and say his truth is found in Christianity or Islam or Judaism or any Buddhism, anything. You just have to know that there is something higher than yourself and try to live right. That's where I'm at.
Okay, very interesting. I say, people got to go back and find the first show we did with Khalil Amani, where we talk about the Yahweh Ben Yahweh cult. Fascinating life, fascinating show. I can't thank you enough. Why don't you tell us now, first of all, who is Afrika Bambaataa?
Okay, so Afrika Bambaataa, if you're a hip-hop/rap fan, you may have heard of him. Of course, I'm first generation hip-hop. When the first hip-hop song came on the radio, which was Rapper's Delight, I was 19 years old. And, of course, I fell headlong into the music and loving the music. But Afrika Bambaataa was one of the early pioneers of the rap genre. He's known for, like, Planet Rock, I believe it is. They call him the godfather of hip-hop. He's somebody who's feared and revered within hip-hop. He's called the godfather of hip-hop. He's worked with people like James Brown in the past. They've done samples together and records. And he also became the member of one of the leaders of the Zulu Nation. His early life, I guess he was one member of the Black Spades. It's not clear if he was a leader or not, because I've heard he's a leader, and I heard he wasn't a leader, but he was a member of the Black Spades. He moved, which was a gang out of New York City. He moved away from that and formed something called the Zulu Nation, and they were basically trying to steer young people away from gang activity, and Zulu became a part of what they called hip hop, which was an early form of music culture called rap music. And so Bambaataa became one of our earliest fathers of the whole hip hop movement. And it was amazing that you'd be surprised how many rappers today don't know who Afrika Bambaataa is, and they're in the rap music. But he was one of the godfathers, early fathers of rap music. That's basically who he was, or he is.
Okay, I'm familiar with the Black Spades because I grew up in the Bronx right around that same time. And very familiar with Rapper's Delight. I knew every single word. I could probably sing it right now if I had to.
Absolutely.
It gives the chills, man, when it comes back on. You just get those chills down your spine. It's just so new and fresh and beautiful, man. Yeah, what a different world back in the 70s. Yeah, I'd say what's going on. But now Black Spades, well, pretty much a streak. As a matter of fact, they came to my school, my grammar school, which was a Catholic school, Blessed Sacrament, and they demanded that the school gives scholarships to young Black kids to kind of desegregate the school. Not segregate. It's well, you know what I'm talking about.
Right.
And then so they were politically active, the Black Spades, although they had other things going on. But then Zulu Nation, was it a religious-based organization as well?
Well, people go back and forth about that too, because they do. The Zulu Nation, they actually their religious ideology bases around what they call Kemetic thinking, which is Egypt. Kemet is from Egypt. Kemetic thinking, and also Moorish science from Noble Drew Ali. But a lot of the members aren't really religious. You don't have to be religious to become a member of the Zulu Nation. It was more about activism, doing things for the community, that kind of thing. But they do have African Bambaataa and a lot of the members, they do have a religious base, which is Kemetic / Egyptian ideology and Moorish science. If you notice their outfits, their dress, you'll see them with the Ankh, which is it looks like a cross with a circle on the top, which is called the Ankh, and it's an Egyptian symbol. So you'll see them back in the old days. You see them wearing the little round leather patches with the symbol of Africa on it and the red, black, and green colors.
Right.
So there's not just religious, there's also nationalistic tones, because Zulus, like from South Africa, they were a major tribe, major group in South Africa. So from what I understand, Africa Bambaataa went to Africa and kind of got up on the Zulu traditions and kind of brought that back to America and started the Zulu Nation.
And today, the Zulu Nation is international. They have chapters in every country.
Yeah, I've heard they have chapters on 6 of the 7 continents.
Peace, everyone. So as you hear, the guy with the Sonetta TV shirt, he's the one speaking. His name is Khalil Amani, formerly known as Khalil Ashanti. Mama named him Lord Rodney Clark. He used to be with the Yahweh Ben Yahwehs, an offshoot of Hebrew Israelites from out of the Nation of Islam. And I was just listening to Tazariak and Cam from the West Coast talking. Cam is from the Nation of Islam, and he deal with them. And he act like he's totally stupid of Hebrew Israelites. I guess because Tazariak was on his show trying to be me, talking about Israelite this and Israelite that, when he a Hebrew Israelite. I'm the one that taught him that you're supposed to say you're an Israelite, but he would never listen to me because he know if I was in ISUBK, then I'd take down the general, him and everyone in there, and have them doing right. But this guy, Sonetta TV guy, right there on the screen, you see who else on the screen? Wack 100 and her son Camel, because he merged the two together with Tekashi 6ix9ine. You know why? Because Tekashi 6ix9ine is in witness protection program, and these two also are in some type of government program that's tied to witness protection program. And he's telling us now about Africa Bambaataa and the Zulu Nation and all of that. And as we go along, he's going to tell you who told them about it. And that person is the guy they say that's deceased, DJ K. Slate, which I don't know nobody that's seen him after he died, when they put him in the box, when they drove him off, when they buried him. I don't know nobody that comes out here and testify that they seen the body of DJ K. Slate after they said it was dead. Now, if y'all believe he dead, then y'all believe Tupac is dead, because y'all seen his body after he was so-called dead, right? My ignorant Americans. But I'm going to quit talking, get back, let Khalil Amani tell his story.
They're heavy in Brazil, England, America, and other places. They're still thriving.
And how many members do you think?
Oh, I don't even have a clue what the numbers. I know it's in the thousands. In the thousands. I have no idea.
Right. And Africa Bambaataa
they've been around for 40 years, so it's a lot of people. And it's hard to count them, because you got people who are still members. You got people who are past members who are still members, but they've grown up and got families now, but they still represent Zulu Nation, that kind of thing. So there's thousands of them.
And Africa Bambaataa is the undisputed leader.
He, at one time, he was the undisputed leader. Supposedly, a guy named Ahmed Henderson is the leader of the Zulu Nation. But when you speak Zulu Nation, you don't think about whoever this guy named Ahmed Henderson is, which basically is Africa Bambaataa's right-hand man. So for all intents and purposes, Africa Bambaataa is still the leader of the Zulu Nation, although they may have somebody's name representing as the head of the Zulu Nation right now. he still pulls the strings. No
Sure.
question about that.
Yeah, with this recent thing, this Me Too thing, all these, you see these Russell Simmons stepping down and Steve Wynn stepping down, but everybody knows it's still still pulling the strings behind the scenes. Are you kidding me? You know, I'm going to step down. Give me a break. So now, I guess we're at the stage now where there's some allegations, right?
Right. So yeah. So if you've been under a rock, or unless you're not in tune with what's going on in hip hop, Africa Bambaataa was not formally charged by the government, but the allegations were made that he liked teenage boys, and the most recent allegation from 2013 is that he stabbed a young Spanish kid. We don't know the age. It could be he could be a minor, or he could be over the age of 18, but no less a young man, after supposedly Africa Bambaataa giving him a date rape drug. And then the story goes, when the guy passed out, Africa Bambaataa performed oral sex on him. And some kind of way, the guy woke up, realized what was happening to him, and went in the kitchen and supposedly got a knife and started stabbing Bambaataa. And the same guy, Ahmed Henderson, who I just mentioned, was in the next room. He heard some noise and ran in there and tried to break up the scuffle between Bambaataa and the young Spanish kid, and he too was stabbed. So on the night of April 1st, 2013, he was admitted to Jacoby Hospital in New York City. Supposedly, he told the media, that he had chest pains, that Africa Bambaataa had chest pains. That's why he was admitted to the hospital. But we've confirmed pretty much that was the cover story. The real truth is that he was there for stab wounds to his chest and back, supposedly, his stomach or wherever. So that's kind of where I come in at. Now, how do I find out the story?
Wait, one second first. Their claim was that they both had chest pains at the same time and went down to the hospital?
No, the claim was that Africa Bambaataa had chest pains.
Okay.
No one mentioned the other guy who was stabbed.
Right.
That came out in an article by a writer out of Canada named Dave Wedge. He writes for a site called Noisy. It's also called ViceThump.com. And he's a pretty well respected writer in his own right. And he talked to a lot of the major players, and it basically came out that Ahmed Henderson, who was Africa Bambaataa's right-hand man, was stabbed also, but he was left out of the equation because he's a nobody. We don't know who he is, but we do know Africa Bambaataa. So the story centered around the fact that this young Spanish kid stabbed him, and so Africa Bambaataa went to the hospital to get his wounds treated. But he put out at allhiphop.com, which is one of the more respected hip hop sites. I actually write for them too. At allhiphop.com, they ran an article saying that indeed he did go to the hospital, but it was because he had chest pain, and it just so coincided. I think it was around his birthday too, like that all this stuff came out in the media, and so that was the official rule, that Africa Bambaataa was just dealing with chest pain.
Okay, a couple of questions. Now, the Spanish kid, let's just keep calling him the Spanish kid. Has anybody talked to this kid, identified him or anything like that?
Well, no one knows his name as of now, but they're like, going back to the Dave Wedge article, he writes that after, not only he writes it, but even there's a young fellow who was a part of the Zulu Nation. His name, he goes by Poppy. His name is Hassan Campbell. And Hassan Campbell says on one of his interviews that after Africa Bambaataa got stabbed, he went to the hospital. Him and 100 soldiers met at the hospital. But shortly thereafter, Africa Bambaataa gave a picture of this young Spanish kid to this guy named Poppy and asked him to take care of, to put a hit on him, to kill the guy. Poppy says he looked at the picture and said that it was a younger version of himself. And Poppy clearly himself is a Spanish kid. He looks like he may be Puerto Rican and black. I'm not sure what his nationality is, but on sight, he looks like he's Puerto Rican and black or Hispanic and black mixed. And then Poppy goes on to say that he went looking for the Spanish kid and ran into the Spanish kid's brother. And the Spanish kid's brother told Poppy basically that his brother was defending himself against Africa Bambaataa date raping him. That's why he did what he did. Now, after that, the story drops off the radar. We don't know if the young Spanish kid is alive or dead. Thus, a YouTuber named Israel Doctrine has started a campaign called "What Happened to That Boy?" And that's kind of what's going on right now. People are trying to find out what's going on. What happened to the Spanish kid? Is he alive? Is he dead? Can he come forward? Will he come forward? Is he in hiding? Because he hasn't been identified yet.
But what about Poppy now? Has he gone to the cops or anything like that? Where's he? What's going on with him today?
Well, you would think he would do the right thing, but Poppy is a street dude. Poppy is what he would consider himself, a street dude, a gangster. He said that he was one of Africa Bambaataa's soldiers. And Poppy was Poppy is the second. Poppy was let's deal with his story. Poppy also himself was molested by Africa Bambaataa. Poppy was the second person to come forward. The story goes like this. Back in 2015, I think it is, Poppy, as a member of the Nation of Islam, one night he got upset. He was having drinks. He got a little tipsy. He made a video outing Africa Bambaataa for molesting him. He put it on Facebook, and immediately one of his higher-up Zulu member brothers, I think his name was last name Muhammad, Stanley Muhammad or something to that effect, called him and said, "Take that video down." And of course, he took it down. So the video was only up for maybe an hour. No one really saw it except for some of his Zulu brothers and sisters, maybe. But the general public didn't really come out yet. Now, after that, a guy named Ronald Savage put out he appeared on a YouTube show called Star in the Morning by YouTuber Star. And he officially was the first one to come out and say that Africa Bambaataa molested him as a young man. He also wrote a book wherein he doesn't call Africa Bambaataa's name, but he mentions a famous hip-hop personality who had been molesting him. And then he gets on the show, and then, of course, the guy Star, this YouTuber, this guy named Star, who's a YouTuber, he's the one that actually made this story come to life. So by this guy named Ronald Savage, who came forward with his story. When Ronald Savage came forward on the YouTube channel, the guy Poppy, that old video that he had made that he had put up for like an hour, it mysteriously popped up. So now he's back in the picture. Now, Poppy's story is that after he took the video down, he had a meeting with Africa Bambaataa and some of the council members where Africa Bambaataa basically apologized for molesting him. And Poppy asked for 3 things. Those 3 things were he wanted to get a tombstone for one of his fallen comrades, a guy named B.O. Poppy is named after this guy. He's called himself Baby B.O. So he wanted Africa Bambaataa to get a tombstone for his partner. He wanted him to step down as the head of the Zulu Nation. And he also wanted Africa Bambaataa to put some money up and maybe start a rec center or something for the children, which is ironic because he's been accused of messing with children.
That's the last guy you want around a rec center, man.
Yeah,
Well,
that's what Poppy asked for.
Okay.
And so Poppy, after Poppy made his demands, he said he would basically be quiet, shut up, and he was satisfied with that, even though Bambaataa never fulfilled any of those three things for him. But Poppy said he would shut up and be quiet if he did those things. Now comes this old video that resurfaces after this meeting. So he's thrust back into the storyline, and of course, he doesn't want to. In Poppy's own words, he says when that video resurfaced, he says, "I wanted to split Ronald Savage's head to the white meat." The guy who came out.
All right.
He was mad. He was mad at him because now that he's out, now his old video came out. So Poppy's basically thrust back into the storyline, even though he had made his peace with Bambaataa over being molested. Oh, I'm gonna grab my phone. It's about to, even though he made his peace. So that's Poppy's story. Now, I know you had Israel Doctrine on your show.
Right.
And now his part is that he basically comes along as a YouTuber and begins to, at first he's on Poppy's side. Everybody's on Poppy's side. Basically, we feel for his story and whatnot because he was molested by African Bambaataa. So Israel Doctrine begins to dig deeper into the story to see, the players and when this came about, and just begin to do internet research. And then somebody named Khalil Amani, myself,
right,
I pop up on his radar. And he realizes that, because at this time, Star, who is this pretty famous YouTuber, he's basically taking the credit for breaking the story, being the one that outed Bambaataa, and which he did break the story. I give him all credit for that. But the genesis of the whole African Bambaataa story goes back to Khalil Amani, to myself. I'm the first person to write about African Bambaataa date raping this guy, getting stabbed, and liking teenage kids. Now, you asked me how did I find out about this?
You took the words right out of my mouth. Yeah.
Okay.
That's exactly what I was saying.
So, now I'm gonna give you a little backstory.
Okay.
My backstory in hip hop goes back to 2007. In 2007, I wrote a book where it's called Hip Hop Homophobes. And basically I had run into a gay rapper, a openly gay gangster rapper. And like most people, I was like, wow, you are a gay gangster rapper? And outwardly gay, not trying to hide it. So, and he began to tell me that there was this whole subgenre of gay and lesbian transgender rappers. I said, wow, I didn't know that. I mean, we hear all the time about who we suspect might be gay and all that kind of stuff, but that's just people talking. So he introduced me to this whole subgenre of gay, lesbian, transgender rappers. And as a writer, I was fascinated with it. And so I wrote this book based on, my research and going to gay hip hop shows and meeting the players and who's who and whatnot. So I wrote this book in 2007. After I wrote the book, I wrote this article called Why Gay Hip Hop. Now we're talking about the old MySpace days. This is before Facebook was actually popping. This was MySpace. And back in those days, I would take my little articles and blogs and put them on MySpace and just kind of send them out to famous people or people who had influence and whatnot. It's kind of like I was fishing, just throwing them out there and see who would respond. Mm-hmm. Well, lo and behold, legendary DJ out of New York, DJ K-Slay, he's called the Drama King because back in the days, he was in a drama field. He's the DJ who refereed the Nas and Jay-Z beef back in those days. If you remember that he's still on radio. He's on Hot 97 right now, and he's also on Sirius Satellite Radio right now. DJ K-Slay, New York City, legendary. So he reached out. He read that article, Why Gay Hip Hop, and he reached out to me. But he didn't reach out in a good light. He reached out and basically said I was full of mess. No gay person has any business in the rap world. Basically, that was his premise. So we began, of course, I had to come right back with my own retort, which I'm a writer. He's not a writer. So my writing basically was killing whatever he was saying. And so we went back and forth about 10, 11 MySpace emails, just debating, do gay people have a voice in hip hop? Now, I come from the era, like you said, back in '79 when Rappers Delight came out. I looked at rap music as a genre that spoke to the marginalized and disenfranchised and, just the lowlife and street people, not rich people and stuff like that. So in my mind, I rationalized that gay people had as much right to speak and have their voices heard in mainstream hip hop as any straight person. That was my premise. And that was the premise of my book. So long story short, after about 10, 11 emails back and forth between me and this famous DJ, he reached out and said, call me. Now, when he asked me to call him, I said to myself, I'm not going to call him because if you knew K-Slay, if you knew his demeanor, he's known for really like cursing out people. Like if you were in his presence, maybe even punching you. Like he's a big man and he has a big voice. And I didn't want to hear him curse me out on the telephone. So I was like, I'm not calling him. His point is clear. He doesn't like what I'm saying. He reached out again 2 or 3 more times, call me. So then about the third time, I said to myself, Khalil, man up. He's in New York. You're 2,000 miles away. What can he really do to you over the phone? And so I called him. To my surprise, DJ K-Slay, his demeanor was soft-spoken, very contrite, almost apologetic. And well, the first thing he said to me was, man, I just want you to know you got a mean pen game. In other words, he thought I was a pretty good writer. Right. I said, thank you. And so I'm just going to listen because I already know his stance that he's not feeling what I'm saying. But to my surprise, now we're talking 2007. To my surprise, he says, I've changed my view on the whole gay thing, whole gay rapper thing. I think you have a point. I think that hip hop or rap should not be limited to just people who are straight. And I said, wow, really? And I was blown away. And then he said, now he knows I'm a blogger. And I don't know why he would tell me this, because as a blogger and a writer, I'm apt to go and write about what you're saying on the telephone. But he didn't just said it. He said, I used to be a member of the Zulu Nation, and I was a member of the Black Spades as a teenager, which I knew that already, but I just let him talk. And then he says to me, Africa Mbata, this is 2007. He says, Africa Mbata, he liked them teenage boys. I said, what? It's 2007. I said, you mean the godfather of hip hop is gay? He said, dude, that's common knowledge in the street. He said, we used to go get them teenage boys for him. We meaning the Zulu Nation, not personally himself, but right. As a group, they would bring, and I'm sitting here scratching my head, shaking my head. I'm just in awe. My mouth is hanging open. Now, mind you, 2007, I gave myself the self-title as Gay Hip Hop Straight Advocate. I self-proclaimed because I was the only straight dude that I knew that was advocating on behalf of gay rappers. So I said, I'm Gay Hip Hop Straight Advocate. And so here he is dropping this knowledge on Gay Hip Hop Straight Advocate, that the godfather of hip hop, one of the founders of this hip hop rap genre, is gay. Not only is he gay, he might be a pedophile. He never used that word pedophile, but he just said young boys. And I'm thinking, so I'm thinking, my God. So long story short, he asked me, K-Slay also owns a magazine. He owns 2 magazines. One's called Originators and the other is called Straight Stuntin' Magazine. And he asked me, he says, can you write an article about the gay rap thing for my magazine? I said, really? You sure? He said, yeah, I want, yeah. I said, okay. I'll send it to you shortly in a couple of days. I actually sent it to him the next day because I actually had it written already. So So the next day I sent him the article. But now I'm walking around in the daze and the fog with the knowledge and information that African Bambaataa, according to DJ K-Slay, is gay, likes teenage boys, been doing this for, umpteen years. And I'm thinking, what does K-Slay want me to do with this information? I'm a writer. I'm a blogger. I can't keep this in my soul, but I did. Because
well, let's stop right there. Let's stop right there. We'll take a commercial break, and we'll be back with the rest of this story. I got a bunch of questions for you, too. Okay, well,
all right, people. Y'all didn't heard it from the mouth of the man with the another TV shirt on, who is friends now with DJ K-Slay, straight stunning Buddy Wack 100, because he was the West Coast of straight stunning. That's how him and her son Camel came together with Tekashi 6ix9ine and everything else. Because this is a CI. This is a rap that ratted on Yahweh Ben Yahweh. He been with K-Slay for years. K-Slay told him a lot of stuff. What all he told him, I don't know. But he told him a lot of stuff, and he spoke it here. One thing, he let you know that K-Slay said he used to be with the Zulu Nation, and he used to, when he said, we used to go get boys for Bama, we mean them and I. K-Slay and them together used to go get boys trafficked. Boys for Bama to sleep with. So DJ K-Slay ain't just a snitch or a rat, because he told about it, but he used to go get children for Bam to sleep with. So is the Zulu Nation traffickers? Yes, they're traffickers. They traffic kids. They go get young boys so Bam can sleep with them. So you know Zulu security know all about it. I mean, Hennessy, Big L, and this other brother and all them, they know all about this stuff. The Zulus are not ignorant to what's been going on for years. But see, Layla Wells never asked this guy the questions. But he spoke on this stuff because of me. I was on Ed Opperman. He was on Ed Opperman before me. The things that he telling is what I brought out into the community because I was on Hassan's tail. And me and him was tag teaming, killing everything. And all of YouTube hated it because they loved Hassan and they hated the fact that I was trying to take Hassan out the game. You hear the story, you hear the man talking for himself. And even with that, Hassan attacked K-Slay a long time before any of y'all ever really heard anything. Because Hassan heard me say it and heard me lining it up for years because I've been on this thing for 8 years. It's 9 years now. Plus 3 is what? We going on a 12-year anniversary of Bambaataa having that boy disappear. But nobody will talk about that. That's why I told Big Gene Deal or Gene Deal show, listen to this, nigga. Then bring your bitch ass over here and deny what the fuck you heard, nigga. Because can't no other nigga play you audio what a nigga's telling on K-Slay from his own mouth. That bitch ass nigga won't bring us over here. My cousin Gene Deal, fuck Gene Deal. That nigga ain't no real nigga. That nigga a fucking Greek like this nigga a Greek. That nigga work for the cops just like this nigga work for the cops. I don't believe none of these hoe ass niggas out here that have been over and let Puff Daddy fuck them. Now, I try to honor the man because I try to honor every man, but any man that don't come up and talk to another man is a bitch ass nigga. Because your bitch ass out here talking, but you afraid to talk to a real nigga. If I figure out so much, most people know where I live and where I stay. Put some cash on me. Get me knocked off if that's what you're trying to do. But at least stand up. Give me my time in the spotlight because you hoes out here building up different YouTubers and stuff and arguing and fight with these YouTubers because they in y'all conglomerate. I done did everything on YouTube. I done called the feds on YouTube. I done did so much shit on YouTube that my name is supposed to be hot as a firecracker. But they said, nah, don't let that nigga get hot. Don't let them hear him speak. They done made me everything. They done made me a child predator all of a sudden. Well, he's watching child porn. Okay. Khalil Money is feeding his feet to his grandchild, something that black people don't do. So I looked up some child porn where you have people feeding their feet to little babies. Oh, he looking up. If that's porn, what he doing is porn. Move my porn. So this is an hour show. So we got like 20 more minutes. I'm looking for Gene Deal, bitch ass, to show up. I'm not going to disrespect him and call him no bitch no more. But you want to sit your ass on YouTube with Jaguar Wright and all these other people. You say you knew K Slate like this bitch nigga knew K Slate. K Slate told you that he used to go get children so Bambaataa can fuck him. Why you ain't coming out here telling us that? What the fuck have K Slate told you since you've been his right hand man and got keys to his studio and all the rest of that stuff? So I do have a queen. She just popped up here. And I'm gonna let her speak. And hopefully she speak good and everything. But I'm through with this. I need to see Gene Deal, Whack 100, all these bitch ass niggas out here saying that DJ K Slate didn't snitch. DJ K Slate told on Bambaataa and told on himself if he didn't do it. Khalil Money lied on him and said he used to go get them goddamn children for Bambaataa to fuck. Not me saying it. But I'm gonna let the queen speak, and we're gonna be out of here in a pretty good second. Whatever. Queen, here go your debut. How you doing?
How you doing, King? I just came in. I don't even know what this show was about. I'm late.
Well,
So I ain't have really much to say. I seen the StreamYard link sitting in the chat, so I just clicked it. What the fuck is that bitch ass nigga on the screen for?
he snitched on K Slate. Everybody act like they don't know.
Oh, you still talking about that? Oh, okay.
The nigga that snitched on K Slate. K Slate told me that he date raped that boy, gas stab. K Slate told me he was fucking young boy. That's Khalil Money. Ain't no nigga out here on YouTube gonna say some motherfucking lie because I got the audio. You can't say what the fuck you heard this a lie. And that's K Slate fucking homie behind him, Whack 100. He's cool with
Okay, is this somebody you talking to?
Huh?
Is this somebody you talking to?
Sister, I'm doing a podcast show. I'm talking to the world if they bring their ass
Oh, okay.
over.
I thought it was somebody in Pacific. That's why I asked. I told you I just came in. I'm trying to catch up. Okay.
So that's somebody that's helping her son to the top. He helping Troy start terrain. He helping lay the wheels. He is part of the conglomerate. All of them run with that rat ass nigga there, showing you who the fucking rats are in the community. Anybody that interviewed that nigga and don't talk about me is a fucking rat. Beat 139, whatever them niggas up there in Harlem, Satnat and all them niggas, they run with this nigga. So they can do shit on YouTube. Y'all can't. You wonder why they got so much power and up and shit, because they run with the feds. There's a lot of YouTubers out here run with this bitch ass nigga. They see me coming, the bitch ass nigga that got his ass off of YouTube. Thanks to the queen, I ain't want to run this bitch ass off, but the bitch nigga that got thrown off.
I was just about to say that nigga ain't run. I was about to say that nigga ain't run shit. I had to get his ass the fuck off, putting all them goddamn pictures of my child up. Bitch ass motherfucking nigga.
So
I gave him a lot of chances. I kept telling him, but see, people call you bluff just because you don't make moves when you speak it. They see that thing I noticed up here. When you speak something, they expect for you to do it right then and there. That's why I don't do it. I do it when you least expect it. I come like a thief in the motherfucking night and I steal your motherfucking shit. All I asked Khalil Almighty to do was to just stop putting my underage child up and stay out of me and that crazy retarded bitch beef. That's all I asked. I know a lot of people probably like, well, why you keep her on the chessboard? Got my reasons why I keep her on the chessboard. She next. I'm gonna double checkmate that bitch ass too. That's all I got to say though.
all right. Like I said, I'm in the podcast. I ain't gonna deny you. You can come up, say whatever you gotta say.
Oh yeah, Israel. We gonna we gonna do our live tomorrow because it got late. I know I said we was gonna do a live after your this. Well, I ain't even feeling up to it now. I gotta do something. So I set it for tomorrow.
Okay, so what's the name of that Mickey Halstead song I like to play? Mickey Halstead.
The who?
Mickey Halstead. Do you know? Fuck nigga shit that shit that I like to play.
Oh, damn, it's in my head. I can't even remember, but I hear the song. Fuck niggas trying to bring me down or some shit. Is that the right one?
And it might not be exactly right, but I'll figure it out.
Bitch niggas trying to bring me down? Some shit.
I'll play Obamonomics. Just trying to leave up out of here. And I guess I can get it now. All right, y'all, we about to exit. I'm gonna play y'all the Chicago cat that influenced Jay-Z and all.
Oh, let me say something. It just crossed my mind. I'm sorry. Before you leave off. I realized Unseen Soldier got smart over there. He started seeing the channels getting bodied and shit. This nigga had a fucking copyright sitting right on his channel. And I was like, I see that shit. And the nigga got smart when he started seeing dominoes falling. He changed that motherfucking thumbnail so goddamn fast. But see, I wasn't gonna get you. I was gonna wait till you did some stupid shit like start doxing my underage child. That's when I was gonna get your ass. You could have kept that little picture up because you didn't prove shit. What I said was you wasn't gonna get no picture of me like how you got of that girl with her pussy out. This nigga go get a picture from this bitch. A video clip that I can hit with a copyright strike. With me with my legs open, my pussy ain't open, nigga. You don't see my pussy hanging out? The fuck is wrong with y'all?
That's the YouTube street queen, y'all. We represent the streets. Sometimes we might get Project Raid or whatever. I'm gonna play this song and get up out of here. Sister. Okay.
All right.
Motherfuckers just wanna bring you down, bring you down, jealous motherfuckers. See, when you on top, motherfuckers just wanna bring you down. Motherfuckers wanna bring you down, 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 bring down. Jealous motherfucker. I give a fuck about a hater. Avoid them with the gator. Yellow nigga, but you're not on my rap radar. You can ask Elliot, they delicate. Can't differentiate subject from predicate. I'm unfuckwittable. You better all celibate. These fools don't want no BG. Me, I relish it. Promise you can't do nothing nowadays. They'll tell us shit. Why you minding my business? Let yours irrelevant. Weak motherfuckers running around here front. Know a little of everything about nothing. They know who drive what, whose booty is fake, whose titties is real, who her and her used to date, who's behind on their house, who's leaving their spouse. They know the terms on the divorce and alimony amount. Who pops what pill, who's lacing they weed. You weak ass might as well work for TMZ. Weak motherfuckers wanna bring you down, bring you down. Motherfuckers wanna bring you down, bring you down. Motherfuckers wanna bring you down, bring you down. Motherfuckers wanna bring you down, jealous motherfuckers. Yeah. Old goof ass niggas, VIP stalking old groupie ass niggas, online shopping fake Gucci ass niggas. They got the nerve to stunt fake bougie ass niggas. Wanna bring you down, don't wanna do your work, but wanna wear your crown. Think they deserve your house, deserve to drive your cars, like they survived your scars and help you write your bars. They ain't take your risk, but want what's on your wrist. Never felt your pain, but wanna wear your chain. They wanna reap your harvest without enduring the rain. Can't see a nigga sacrifice, they blinded by fame. They don't feel your stress, oblivious to the struggle. Can't see the forest for the trees, oblivious to the jungle. We survived in the belly, the beast damn near swallowed us. So fuck you and your bitch ass followers, you weak motherfuckers. Wanna bring you down, bring you down. Weak motherfuckers wanna bring you down,